when they go to school in kindergarten. So can you imagine being a parent and your kid goes to school with their little lunchbox, all excited, and gets their iPad and at school, and they're plugging it in, and oh, this is cool, and they bring it home to show mom and dad, and they can't do anything with it. So I mean, it's a pretty big issue, especially at home on the internet too. It's kind of shocking to me actually that we don't have. And so I did a lot of work in my first term, realized some of the barriers, tried to get, I personally think it's a key part of our infrastructure issues. Sure. It's a huge economic development issue, home-based businesses, public education, medical devices. If you want to age in place, you need medical devices, are all going through the internet. They're also talking now about any notices, legal notices don't have to be in the paper. So that's a problem. Everything's going on the internet. So if you don't have the internet at home, you are actually, we've been having a committee, and I had one guy say, my kids are actually being discriminated against because they are limited to their access to education. And I've also had people tell me that they've had to move because they weren't able to do their job anymore. So it's a really big issue. I've been working on that, and I would like to see the state have a strategic plan for implementing rural broadband. Minnesota has a program like that that's very good. And then the other committee I'm on is elections. I'm minority chair of elections, and I'm very concerned to somebody's point over here about accessing government and activating. We have continually here in Michigan made it more and more difficult to access the vote for individuals. We are now tied with Kentucky and Alabama for the least amount of accessibility to voting, like online registration, no reason absentee voting or early voting. There's a lot of technology out there to ensure that there's no fraud. So that's an issue that I've been very concerned about and been working on that. And the other issue that I'm currently working on is a septic code, because we're the only state in the country that doesn't have a statewide septic code. So we have over 130,000 estimated failing fields that are polluting our waters with E. coli. Very interesting facts that most people aren't aware of. So that's a little very roundabout. I do not have a particular agenda, except that my kids, if we're talking about kids, my kids are grown. My kids are 28, 25.
Hi, Grandma.
Actually, he's 26. He just turned 26, and my daughter's about to turn 22. My middle son, I'm really excited to say, next week I'm going to be at the Naval Academy. He's graduating from the Naval Academy, and he's going to be a pilot. So I'm really, really proud of him. Well, it's a tradition, actually. On my mom's side, our family goes back to the Revolution. It's a very long-standing tradition. I'm most proud of him because he did it on his own. He went enlisted because he didn't have the grades in high school, and he's going to be he's studying to be an aerospace engineer, and he's going to be a pilot.
He went from an enlistee to pilot?
Well, yeah.
Without the academy?
Well, he's at the academy.
He's at the academy.
Yeah, but he went to college. Both my kids started in the arts, like music. Well, they both all my kids play in music, because music and, I don't know if you're aware, but music and math actually really work together very well, and that your brain, the way your brain works with math and music, it really complements. Same with languages, foreign languages, it's really helpful. So anyhow, so they both my kids went to, their freshman year, they went to music performance, and then they realized they couldn't get a job that would pay their bills. So my older son started working, and he's actually got an IT degree, but he wants to be an aerospace engineer, but on the ground. He wants to be in the JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And then my daughter's still trying to figure out what she wants to do. I think early ed is going to be where she's at. Sorry?
There's always politics.
No. I'll just tell you about my kids. My kids have always, being a mayor, you go everywhere you go. Like, I used to go to the farmer's market in Ann Arbor, and then when I became mayor, I started one in Saline, because it's a great way to bring people together, fresh food, you're supporting local businesses, But I used to take my kids up to the farmer's market and teach them about all the food and blah, blah, blah. And then when we did the Saline Farmers Market, my daughter was like 4. She said she wouldn't go with me anymore because everybody talked to me. She said, "Mom, I'm not going to the farmers market anymore with you. I want to go to the one in Ann Arbor." So they're not active on my campaign because they're very supportive and they will help, closer to the when it gets really busy. But right now they're doing their thing, and I respect that. But because they've spent, their whole life I've been in public service. But the good part for them is they know it. They've been, they've helped with projects around town and been really a part of the community. And that's really, I think, what's most important is, really teaching our kids the values of participating in community. And that's really what I'm trying to share and help people understand that, we're all frustrated from different perspectives, but I also think there's a lot of great things happening, a lot of good things that we could be doing. So I'm really excited about the opportunity to be representing people in the 7th Congressional District. And I think there is a really great opportunity of helping build community. And I do have an experience from coming from a local elected position as a nonpartisan person. Saline has had some great successes. We've had some real struggles. So that's where I come from. So I don't know if you have particular questions for me about, that's pretty much.
Just offhand, what about the broadband issue? You're talking about.
So the broadband issue.
Well, no, I mean, talking about something wired, because, you think about, going like what's happening with telecommunications in Africa, they're jumping right to cellular,
Right.
rather than skipping over the whole wiring thing itself. My girlfriend lives out by Jackson, and she has.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
She has no internet there, but she uses cellular.
Right.
But the signal is very weak and very unreliable.
Right.
And someone is that looking into things like raising limits on cellular heights of cellular towers, things like that. Is that anything looking into that to provide
so what
to
we
ensure
did.
that the private companies provide better cellular coverage?
Yeah. So what I did last term is I went to AT&T and Verizon and Comcast because they're all the big providers, and I said, we're not getting service in this part of the county. What can you do to help us get service in this part of the county? They all said, well, we have an investment program, and because we deregulated the telecommunications, they're